songs. How like being poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls on broken plastics in updated orb that we call home. And it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
Welcome to the Talking VAWLS Network. This is the Indy Kid coming at you. It's been a big day of news for Tennessee athletics with a couple of commitments in football, one commitment from a high schooler, the transfer of Brandon Turnage, which I'll address here in just a few minutes, but also my main focus on this is going to be basketball and the commitment of B.J. Edwards, the first commitment for the 2022 class for Rick Barnes. And we'll get into details about him, what kind of player he is, what he brings to the table. But before we get into that, guys, make sure, as always, you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe for all the latest alerts and updates for any live shows or anything that any videos that may be posted. Boogie's posted videos about transfers this week. He addressed the Daryl Middleton and Greg Emerson transfers this morning. He also posted a video about the commitment of Jordan Phillips this evening. So the videos are rolling. You know, football's getting going. It's not long, guys. Today's July 1st, a little over a month. And things will get rolling. Can't wait for that. But in the meantime, a lot going on, but there's still basketball's heating up as well. Basketball recruiting has been going on for the month of June, of course, with visits happening. So Rick Barnes in Tennessee, they have positioned themselves very well to set up this 2022 class. And it got off to a great start today. Knoxville native B.J. Edwards is in the fold. He's the first guy, 6'3", 170. In the most recent 247 rankings on Wednesday, B.J. Edwards climbed 13 spots to number 68. There was some belief that he was going to go even higher than that, as he's had some good showings just in tournaments along the way and stuff. But, you know, good player, heck of an addition, a good start for Tennessee right here. And this is another commitment from the Bobby Mays AAU team. That's been a pipeline, and that's, you know, obviously Bobby Mays played under Bruce Pearl. He was a really good point guard for them in that time. And, you know, Tennessee's kept a good connection with him along the way as well. And I'm going to try to share some video here of B.J. Edwards as well. This is from the Myrtle Beach tournament. This was back before any of his commitments or any of that stuff. But, you know, one thing I like about him is, you know, one of the things is Jerry Meyer says that B.J. Edwards is my type of guard. And I quote this from Jerry Meyer, analyst of 247. He has a quality blend of speed, strength, and lateral quickness. Throw in his toughness and his competitiveness, and you have a player with great functional athleticism. It's about making plays at a high rate of speed and also in traffic, Meyer said, of what Edwards will bring to the Vols. He's a winner with complete skill set, and he has versatility to play and defend three positions. He's the type of player you want to continue building and maintain a winning program with. And another analyst, 24/7, Brandon Jenkins, he said the one aspect that stood out to me while there was his effort on the defensive end. We know with Rick Barnes, that's a big thing, defense. So every time I had my eyes on him at the camp, he was forcing turnovers in the backcourt, which led to easy baskets. And as of now, in my opinion, he projects as a lead guard who can give opposing guard problems on the defensive side of the ball with his length and activity. That's what Brandon Jenkins of 24/7 Sports said about him as well. So right here's obviously some highlights. And there's some of your highlights of B.J. Edwards. right there again. Tennessee is that's a very good start for Tennessee, and I think there's potential more. Dylan Mitchell, who in the latest 24/7 rankings went from number 144 overall all the way up to number 38. He visited with Edwards over the weekend. Those two were on campus, and they formed a bond. They formed a relationship. They're talking about possibly playing together. They played against each other some, and then they were out in Las Vegas together recently. So there's that possibility. They've talked about playing together, and Tennessee's the only common school that they had in common. Mitchell's been on trips to Ohio State and Auburn, and I just saw recently Grant Ramey of 24/7 Sports posted on the message board that Mitchell is currently on an official visit at Florida State right now, and kind of alluded to that. I'm not sure Florida State, has felt good about their chances, but obviously Tennessee, from what I'm gathering, is in really good shape with Mitchell right now. Plus, it said this week as well, Cason Wallace, the number 19 overall player out of Texas, who visited back around the June 6th, 7th, 8th weekend. Tennessee's in really good shape with him. Kentucky was thought to be some of their league competition. It doesn't seem Kentucky's pushing for him right now. And Baylor and Texas do not seem to be factors with him. So Tennessee seems to be in good shape there. It's a matter of closing with him. And then we'll see from there, because I think Tennessee's going to have around 5 to 6 scholarships available. And, if I looked at the basketball roster again, if I'm looking over it, you think of it offhand. Of course, you got Fulkerson coming back. He's not counting against the scholarship limit this year. He is a COVID senior. Where could you go? Who do you possibly lose along the way here? You got to think Kennedy Chandler is one and done. I just don't see any way that he comes back right there. And there's possibility Brandon Huntley Hatfield is one and done also. So then where do you go from there? You've got space to fill already. Victor Bailey will be a senior. I'm not sure if he's going to have extra eligibility or what right there. Could Josiah-Jordan James leave early for the NBA? Anybody else? I know Jemai Mashak coming out of California. I think this guy's going to surprise. He's a very good pickup. He's been balling out in California, won a state championship in a good class out there. Jonas Adu, I think he's 6'11" center, really shot up the rankings. Justin Powell, transfer from Auburn. So I think it's possible Tennessee will have around 5 spots available. It may be a little generous right there, but you always got to plan for transfers. You always got to plan for, now with the transfer portal, you got to plan for that as well. But I think as of right now, of course, Edwards is in the fold. I think you've got to think Dylan Mitchell. Tennessee's got to feel good with him. It seems they're in good shape with Cason Wallace as well. Now, when the new 24/7 rankings were put out this week, there were some Tennessee's evaluating. It shows that their valuations are pretty good right here, because Ernest, I'm going to say it's Uday. I'm not UDEH Jr., 6'10", 230 center out of Orlando, Florida, was unranked, and now he's up to number 22 overall. And then Johan Traore, 6'10", 225 center from Napa, California, went unranked to number 72. So Tennessee's definitely going after big men as well. Of course, they've had Brandon Miller, who's a top player in the state of Tennessee. His stock did, according to 24/7 rankings, it fell. He went from number 11 to number 26. But still, that's a very highly ranked position player right there. Just really interesting to see what Tennessee ends up with this class. B.J. Edwards is a good start, and I think it's possible he climbs even more. He's 68 now. 24/7 seems to like him really well. Dylan Mitchell, again, he's moved up over 100 spots to number 38 overall. 6'8", 190 wing. I think you got to think, especially with that bond with him and Edwards, I think you got to like Tennessee's chances of landing him. We'll see how his Florida State visit goes. That's going to be closer to home for him. Can that be a factor or not? Interesting to see right there. But the thing with Brandon Miller, I mentioned him, is I haven't really heard much on, is Tennessee leading? how do they stand there? And then I know they were scheduled, or maybe they even had Deontay Green out of Asheville, North Carolina. I've not heard anything on his visit. He was scheduled to be in Tennessee about a week ago. Got to think North Carolina is probably the leader for him. Him being from, of course, Asheville's closer to Knoxville than it is to Chapel Hill, but still yet North Carolina being the in-state school, you got to think if they're pushing hard for him, they're going to be hard to beat right there. But, this ties back in Rick Barnes. Not sure the extension is official, but 2 more years. Don't think it's any increase in money based on everything I'm reading on. It's just increase in years. Still going to be paying just south of $6 million. And you got to pay it for a top-notch coach, regardless of what you think of it. We've gone the bargain bin in Knoxville plenty of times, and it's burnt, especially the football pro. It's burnt the basketball program. Fortunately, basketball, it's a lot easier, quicker fix with the smaller roster size. And Rick Barnes has done a great job replenishing and getting that basketball brand back going at a high level. Last year didn't go as we hoped. I think this year there's a lot of possibility. There's a lot of hope this year. Really like what they're bringing in. And I really like this commitment that started off 2022 today. November will be when prospects can start to sign for basketball. Good start. Very good start. We'll see where Tennessee goes from there. But I like what they've done. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video as well, Boogie has talked about the Jordan Phillips commitment. He addressed the transfers. He put out a video earlier in the week about potentially adding Brandon Turnage, former Alabama cornerback who went to Georgia. Apparently didn't like it, and then he unenrolled. He did this afternoon. He is enrolled in Knoxville. He will be on the Tennessee football team come this fall. I expect he's going to provide some hefty competition at the corner or somewhere in the secondary, as Tennessee had been targeting those cornerbacks. This is a great pickup for them. He'll have 4 years of eligibility, remaining 6'1", 186, especially if he sticks at corner. That is very good size for a corner. Former top 247 prospect. I think he ranked in about, I think the exact ranking was 102 overall when he signed with Alabama. Tennessee had a commitment from the Junior College National Defensive Player of the Year, which was Rotarius Torrance, who decommitted, ended up committing to Auburn, and then they had a shot with Caron Prunty. Had a good shot at him. South Carolina won out on that one, though. So nice pickup for Josh Heupel and company. They've really replenished, added 2 good secondary pieces in the portal along with others, but just wanted to bring that brief a little bit as well. And again, if you want to know a little bit about Brandon Turnage, Boogie had a really good video on him at the beginning of the week. Just search on YouTube. If you're a subscriber under subscriptions, just search down. You'll find that as well. But just wanted to bring you a basketball update. Great day for University of Tennessee basketball. Great commitment. Good start for them. And I think it's going to be a catalyst to another potential at least top 10, if not top 5 class. And, we'll see where it goes and where Tennessee ends up here. I think, and still it's kind of interesting to me what is available to Tennessee and who they're in on. It's all top-ranked guys. And one that stands out to me is he's now the number 2 player overall. He was the consensus number 1 in the 24/7. Emily Bates. He was overtaken by Jalen Duren out of Florida, who just jumped him this week. But I think the expectations Bates will go pro, but he keeps mentioning Tennessee ever since he's decommitted from Michigan State. If they get him on campus and if he is committed to playing your college basketball, I would say watch out on this one. Maybe I'm in the minority on this one, but a constant I keep seeing with Bates, I've not seen for sure that he's set on going pro, and I see it consistent that Tennessee's mentioned. If Tennessee can get him on campus, watch out, guys. And that's the case with anything. If they can get him on campus, based on the way they're recruiting, based on what they have, I'm going to call it, if they get this guy on campus, they have a real shot. Whether he ever makes it there or not is another thing. We'll see how it plays out. When I first saw they were involved, I kind of shrugged it off. But the more I see it, and he says he wants to visit, if he does, watch out. I think this staff, this is a really good recruiting staff that Tennessee has down here. And if Emily Bates wants to go to college, I feel confident this staff, if they get him on campus, can close the deal. But, we'll see where it goes from there. I'm just going to say I'm going out on a limb and saying watch out for that one. Not that it's imminent or anything like that. They've got to get him on campus first. Obviously, if they don't get him on campus, it's not going to matter. But, we'll see. But I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for tuning in. Keep an eye out for, videos throughout the week. Now I've got my time on my hands. We've talked about that fall of Tennessee football series. We'll take the weekend to kind of unwind and stuff. Just finished up school for the year with summer school and everything. I'm going to enjoy the next 3 days. Come Monday, and we'll sit down. I'm going to hash out this fall of Tennessee football series, and we're going to start it. We'll kind of get together with a rough draft, and we're going to put this thing together. And I think it'll be a fun July. It won't be fun to rehash while this football program is what it is, but it also, we want to be detailed. It's going to be opinionated. It'll be facts. We'll base facts off what we read and stuff like that. But once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, we appreciate you all. You guys have a good Thursday evening. Have a good Friday. Have a good 4th of July weekend. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy. Be safe. Take care, and I'll see you guys when I see you.
The songs howl like we poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we draw home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like we poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit smashed and broken.